Welcome, everybody, to the Ray Shasho Show, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Each week, Ray spotlights in-depth interviews with legendary and up-and-coming authors and music artists. Ray also features the movers and the shakers of the music and publishing industries and suggests important methods for getting the most out of your public relations and marketing needs. Please welcome music journalist, author, and entrepreneur, Ray Shasho.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Ray Shasho, broadcasting from BBS Radio 1, and welcome to the show, where we spotlight legendary and up-and-coming music artists and authors, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Call us today at 941-877-1552, or visit www.publicityworksagency.com. Remember, we shine only when we make you shine. Our very special guest today is guitar hero and songwriter for the Dead Daisies, Doug Aldrich. You need neither an instruction manual nor a university education to love the Dead Daisies music. Their songs unerringly hit their listeners' autonomic nervous system, immediately take root in their hearts and souls and force them to move along to the rhythm. There are a lot of very good reasons why this kind of rock and roll has never gone out of fashion. Band members David Lowy, John Corabi, Doug Aldrich, Marco Mendoza, and Brian Tichy all agree. Our songs are simply timeless, immortal, and classic. That's why working with the Dead Daisies is so much fun, and that's why the reaction is always phenomenal, no matter when and where this band turns up. With his keen instinct and clear vision, founder, guitarist, and songwriter David Lowy has put together an amazing group of musicians that has caused a stir with different lineups, generating a consistently high level of individual renown and outstanding artist substance since 2012. While initially Richard Fortus and Dizzy Reed of Guns N' Roses, Rolling Stones members Darryl Jones and Bernard Fowler, as well as John Tempesta and Charley Drayton of The Cult, among others, were involved, Lowy has once more enlisted international stars for the recording of the Dead Daisies' third album, Make Some Noise. For me as a vocalist, this kind of high-caliber lineup is an absolute dream come true, enthuses John Corabi. When you work with the Dead Daisies, everybody's amazingly motivated to deliver top performances. So their new release lives up to its programmatic title. It would be difficult to imagine a rock album that sounds more powerful, energetic, and vibrant. Make Some Noise celebrates the kind of classic rock and roll that has gone from strength to strength since the early 1970s, and that sweaty clubs, hallowed concert halls, arenas, and stadiums would be impossible to imagine without. Strong hooks, intense riffs, which have guitarist Doug Aldrich prove his outstanding quality, supported by a rhythm section consisting of drums and bass that march forward without compromise, plus Corabi's charismatic vocals. This album rocks from the first to the very last note. Cross-references to renowned bands from the past, feature just as much as highly contemporary sounds and trend-setting directives. A number such as A Long Way to Go couldn't have been delivered better by AC/DC. Mainline and Last Time I Saw the Sun bring to mind the likes of Aerosmith and Mr. Big. The title tracks, Make Some Noise, is nothing less than a self-confident, tongue-in-cheek rock statement that summarizes this album's general direction and may be taken quite literally, namely when a euphoric audience gives way to their enthusiasm. Not forgetting the wonderful Song and a Prayer with its guitar licks and anthemic chorus reminiscent of Guns N' Roses. Cross Your Heart, this is the kind of superb composition that the public has been waiting for since Paradise City. Having said that, stylistically, the Dead Daisies may be paying homage to the long tradition of rock music, but they prove their unconditional independence with every one of their tracks. Make Some Noise quotes renowned icons, but also resurrects like its two predecessors, the Dead Daisies 2013 and Revolution 2015, almost forgotten rock classics. While in the past, the Dead Daisies brought back to life numbers like the Alex Harvey success Midnight Moses and Helter Skelter by the Beatles, both celebrated enthusiastically by the group's fans. Make Some Noise sees new incarnations of the Who's anthem joined together, and Creedence Clearwater Revival's Fortunate Son forges an arc to the most colorful era of rock history. Producer Marty Fredrickson has made a significant contribution to the album's success, furnishing Make Some Noise with a breathtaking sound at the studio in Nashville. As David Lowy puts it so aptly, the Dead Daisies mean pure fun to me. This band is first and foremost about our passion for the kind of music and about celebrating classic rock and roll. Because one thing is clear, if we have fun in the studio and live on stage, that spark is bound to ignite our audience. As David Lowy puts it, it will ignite our audience. The lineup consists of Brian Tichy, formerly of Ozzy Osbourne and Foreigner, drums, David Lowy from Red Phoenix and Mink, on guitar, John Corabi from Mötley Crüe and The Scream, Doug Aldrich of Whitesnake and Dio, and also guitars, Marco Mendoza from Thin Lizzy and Whitesnake on bass guitar. It is my great pleasure to welcome guitar hero and songwriter for the Dead Daisies, Doug Aldrich, to the Ray Shasho Show. Welcome to the show, Doug.
Hey, Ray. How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good, man. Where are you today?
I'm actually in Philadelphia.
You're in Philly?
Yeah, I'm visiting my mom and dad. It was just, they live in Philly. I went to high school here, and last night we played in Portland, Maine, and the Daisies all went back to we were kind of hubbing out of Boston, but I caught a ride with the Kiss crew who was coming to Philly, and so they took care of me, got me down here safe, and now I'm at my mom and dad's for a little family catch up.
Cool. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Philly. I'm originally from the D.C. area, and I actually used to take my kids to Langhorne.
Okay. I lived in D.C. too. I lived in Rockville, Maryland too for a while, in Potomac, Maryland. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're from the same neck of the woods, man.
Yeah. I lived in Alexandria for a while, and I lived in actually in southern Maryland in Waldorf, and I was born and raised in Baltimore. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
So when the Ravens get together with the Eagles, watch out, man.
I'm not worried about the Eagles. They constantly. It's difficult, man. They just traded away their starting quarterback, so I'm not even thinking about it. I'm always going to be a fan, but I'm actually kind of interested in the Rams now that they're back in L.A. This is where I call home now.
Right. I think that's pretty cool that they went back to L.A.
Yeah, I mean, for they were gone for a long time, and right. I'm just interested to see how it goes and see if the fans support them. I think it when we had the Rams and the Raiders, I don't think there was the fan support, but maybe it'll be different.
I agree. Now you're right now you're on tour with Kiss this month, all this month. Yeah. And I guess you were on tour with Kiss last month as well, right?
Yeah, we started, I guess it was August 10th or something. We came,
right.
We had played a show in Zurich, Switzerland, and then we flew directly on August 9th to meet with Kiss, and we started on the 10th. And we go until September 10th, which is coming up. So we're just winding down right now with the Kiss guys, and we are going to be taking a couple-week break, getting back together with family, and then we'll set out we're going to be doing Japan in October, and then we go to Korea. We're doing some USO stuff in Korea, and then back to Europe. We're doing the Kiss cruise in beginning of November, I believe, and then we go back to Europe until Christmas.
Yeah, I've got the dates. Let's see, the 7th you're going to be in Connecticut, right? Bridgeport?
That's right.
Right, and then you'll be in Richmond. I know about the Richmond Coliseum. There's a lot of great shows there. That's going to be on the. Let's see, is that the 9th, and then the 10th you'll be in Huntington, West Virginia. Then those are all with Kiss. Then you're going to be at the Whiskey, right? And you'll be headlining actually the Whiskey in L.A. Is that correct? On the 15th?
Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's right. We are. We're doing a headline show and kind of like it's like a belated release party that night. So we're kind of gonna, pop the corks and go crazy and do all that stuff. And and then we have we're actually after that we're gonna perform at at Arizona Cardinals football game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're doing. They have a tailgate party type of concert once a year. I guess it's once a year or something, and so we're going to play there.
Right.
They're actually one of the teams that has been kind of featuring the track "Make Some Noise" on some pre-game stuff. Or I'm not actually sure when, but they asked us to come out and play. So We're going to do that, and then we got a couple weeks off before we pick it back up again.
Is this your first Kiss cruise, or have you done this before?
No, it's actually my first cruise. Period. I've never even been on a cruise ship. I've been on ferries and stuff in Europe. Where, with sometimes the bus will get on a ferry. Or there was one time I went from Stockholm to Helsinki, and they called it. I think it was called the party boat or something. I forget what they call it, but it was just a lot of Vikings drinking. So the Kiss cruise is going to be really fun because it's going to be great weather, obviously great bands, and yeah, it's my first time with them. This tour is my first time to actually see Kiss really live, and I got to say, I'm just blown away at the show that they do. It's just their songs are obviously they're killer songs, they're great songs. And these guys are all great players, and the show that they put on is just—it's unbelievable. I love it.
Yeah, I've had Bruce Kulick. I've interviewed Bruce, and of course he was let go after they went back to the makeup because the reason he was let go, I don't think they thought he would fit in the makeup. He didn't have that certain look, at that time. And,
I don't know. I think actually, I don't remember, but I kind of feel like they got Ace back, right? No.
Yeah, they did get Ace back at that time, right? That's true.
So they were kind of going back to that
right.
thing, and then Ace ended up going away again. But yeah, but Bruce is awesome. He's a friend of mine. He's
a good guy, and we talked about when he got shot, which was a horrifying experience.
How did that? I actually forgot about that. What happened?
Yeah, he got shot outside of a club. I forgot who he went to see. One of his friends were playing there, well-known guy. And as soon as he was outside, he heard gunshots, and he was shot. I don't know if it was a drive-by or some guy just shooting at somebody or whatever happened. It could have been somebody was mad, I think, at the club, and then he just went crazy and started, firing his weapon. But luckily it went through just the right part of his body, and it went right clean through. So there was no infection or anything. So
lucky.
He was really, really lucky. Yeah. So the Kiss cruise is going to be awesome. I've seen pictures. I've never got a chance to go on this cruise, but that boat is packed, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be great. I think we play every day, or play. It's 4 days, and we play every day, so it'll be great.
And you're going from Miami to Cozumel and Grand Canyon. I guess that's the cruise. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure will.
Yeah.
It'll be like a
and
little.
Then you got the second leg of the European tour, and you're going to be stopping in Japan. I guess that's in October, and I guess the rest of the year you'll be in Europe. Do you have is there a country or city that you are particularly fond of? I know sometimes we get a bigger response overseas than we do here in the United States because they're very loyal, like in Europe and Japan especially.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's great to play anywhere, really. And like, for example, with Kiss right now, we've been playing some of the smaller towns. That, like, we played in Portland, Maine. We've played in Dayton, Ohio. Outside of Springfield, Missouri, Springfield, Illinois. A lot of smaller towns, and the crowds have been just killer. They've been really up for it, and definitely, it's when you're playing Los Angeles or New York or whatever. There's so many shows, so it's not as exciting maybe as. But in Europe, you're right. They're very loyal and dedicated to the style of music that they love, and I would say, there's a lot of cities that are just the typical ones that people would. London's awesome, Paris and Stockholm, Zurich. Those are all really great, really cool cities with lots of history and everything. But if I had to choose, I would say playing in Japan is probably my favorite place to play. It's just not so much the place to play, but just to be there is awesome. As far as audiences go, the loudest audience I've ever heard was in Argentina. Really? Yeah. Oh. They go mental. When we used to play there with Whitesnake, they would sing they would hum along with every riff. So when you think of the guitar riff for Still the Night or something, imagine 10,000 people singing that riff with the band. It's really amazing. And they're jumping up and down at the same time. So I would say that's the loudest crowds is South America.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never knew that about that country.
Well, actually, in between songs in Argentina and in Chile and Mexico, all these places, in between songs, people just start chanting "Ole, ole, ole, ole,"
oh, yeah.
and they go on and on until you start the next song, and then they start singing. They love to sing, Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty soon you'll be playing in Cuba.
Well, the previous band went there, and they said it was unbelievable. Really a great experience, and I think we are looking to go back next year.
Cool. Yeah, the Stones had a great outing over there. They played there not long ago, I think. You auditioned for Kiss, and you were only like 18 years old, right?
Yeah. Yep. When I first, and I haven't said anything to those guys about that. Like we haven't talked about it. I've seen the guys, every day or whatever, but we just kind of more actually talk about guitars. Me and Paul end up talking about guitars all the time. Tommy's a friend for years, and Eric as well. And but yeah, I met Gene and Paul back in 82. It was, I think, and they were making a change from Ace at that time, and so I came down and I played a few times with them, and it was a really awesome kind of wake up call for me. I was really too young to be doing that kind of thing, but they thought enough of me to ask me to come down a couple times and play, and I didn't get the gig, but it really woke me up and got me serious about my playing.
Do you remember what song you played? What songs you were?
We played Firehouse first, and then we played, I can't remember the second. It might have been Strutter or something. Yeah. I can't remember the second song we played, but then the third song was the scary song. It was Black Diamond, because
Black Diamond, yeah,
that was
a cool song.
That was like that is kind of, I think, regarded like their Stairway to Heaven almost or something. Mm-hmm. And so they were really they really wanted it to be done. They really wanted to play that, and I was listening to it, going, "Wow, I never realized that this song's really complicated. It's got a lot of parts and harmonies and all this stuff." And so, but we got through it, and it was cool. And then they ended up calling me back, and we played Dr. Love and Detroit Rock City. But at my second audition, they basically they wanted me to just do a guitar solo too. Right. So I stopped and did a guitar solo. But anyway, they've all through the years been really nice to me, really supportive, and Gene is he came to a couple Whitesnake shows when I was in the band and said, you know, that he thought I was doing a good job. So that's cool, man. Those guys, they're salt of the earth to me.
Yeah, but they are good people.
Yeah.
I chatted with Kenny Aronson, bassist Kenny Aronson, about auditioning with the Stones. He jammed with him for like 3 hours, and
that's cool.
Yeah, Keith Richards asked him if he wanted vodka, and I guess they had some vodka coolers in the, and he turned it down. He said he didn't want to drink, you know, and to this day he wonders maybe that's why he didn't get the gig because he played well. You know, he played for 3.5 hours, but he didn't drink with Keith, so he always wondered about it.
You know, part of that's something, Ray. It's actually interesting because, man, a lot of times it's more about how you relate to somebody than how you play. It's really, I mean, there's a lot of amazing musicians that haven't gotten gigs because they just maybe didn't jive. It didn't jive well with the band. But you're absolutely right, man. If you can hang with somebody and they like you, you have way more of a chance than if you're like the most perfect, incredible player, because the majority of the time is not on stage. The majority of the time you're together is all the traveling and writing and doing all that stuff. And it entails you to be able to get along with these people like family, you know, like a marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're right. It could be, man. If he's man, let's have a drink. You know, it would have maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly. How can you turn down drinking with Keith Richards? You know.
Yeah, because when he walked out, they were like, "Man, I can't hang with that guy. He doesn't drink. I can't." You know, Keith was like, I like to relax after the show and have a little vodka or whatever.
Exactly. Do you have a pretty extensive guitar collection? I know you talked about a Gibson 1958 plain top Dark Burst reissue. Do you still have that?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
I have a pretty, you know, a pretty modest collection. I'm always looking to add to it. I have a couple guitars that are from the 50s. I finally have gotten into some 50s guitars that they're really from the 50s. Late 50s, and I love it, man. I was, you know, I'm like I've said, I'm hanging with family, and my dad is really into golf, and we were talking. I just arrived, and we were talking. He's looking on his iPad, and my mother said, "What do you put that down? What are you looking at?" And he was looking at golf clubs, like just checking out what's going on. And I said, I do the exact same thing, Mom. I do the exact same thing, but I do it at night when I want to relax and get my mind off stuff. I just go on eBay or Reverb or whatever, and I just start, you know, looking at guitars. And every once in a while, you know, he speaks to you even through the internet. And I
gotta have it.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So you got Les Paul Strats and Telecasters. Do you play all those on stage? Do you...
Right now, I'm playing. I just did a thing where I've always played. I've always loved Fenders. I love them. At the moment, I'm playing mostly a Les Paul, though, is my main guitar. And I just started working with ESP. They let me borrow a Ron Wood ESP model. It's a really nice black Telecasters, basically, is kind of what it is. And I really like that guitar a lot, and we decided to, you know, they said, "Well, keep it. You know, welcome to the family." And
awesome.
And then the other guitar that I'm playing on the Dead Daisies tour is a funny story. It's a BC Rich Bitch that Brian Tichy, he bought it. We were in New York a couple months ago, and he said, "Dude, I just bought a BC Rich Bitch," and he's like, "It's going to be at my house, back in L.A. in a week or so." And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Well, do you think I should have it sent to New York?" And I was like, "Yeah, have him send it." So it arrived in New York, and he's like, "Would you play it, man? Would you play this?" And I thought, I'll check it out or whatever. And he was so excited about me, using it on stage that he let me use it. And I've been using it for slide. It's just got a killer tone to it. But the funny thing was, I never would have played the guitar like that. It was just Brian was like, "Please, man, you should play it. It looks look, nobody." He goes, "Nobody can play it, bitch, man. Only Joe Perry. He's the only one. He's like, you could do it, man. Come on."
Okay, I'll do it.
I tried it, and then I was going, I just want to keep it really simple. I just want to keep it a couple guitars. But then I thought, you know what? It's a nice guitar and it's fun, to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. Collecting guitars is better than stock market. They hold their value. They increase in value tremendously. I had a 73 Telecaster. I spent $300 for it, and I sold it. It was like $3,800 I got for the guitar. It also had a lot of autographs on it.
That's cool.
The value of it. I also had a Gibson Flying V, a 79 at one time.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have any flying? Do you have a Flying V?
Nope, I don't. We were in Ireland 3 months ago, and there was a Flying V in a shop over there, a white one that, and I was talking to. I was looking at it. It looked really nice. I was talking to David Lowy, and he said he would like to go check it out the next day. So we went back, and he bought it. And the shop owner said that Joe Bonamassa had been in and really loved that guitar and had played it, whatever. And it is a really killer V. It was a 78, I think. And David got it. He used it for the rest of the European run, and then he sent it back to his place to just put it away.
Yeah, you would look really cool playing a Flying V. With the blonde hair coming down over it. Kind of like.
I think like Michael Schenker or Randy or somebody. But I mean,
like UFO. Yeah.
That's what I said to him. I go, dude, you look like Michael Schenker. It's really cool. But no, I've never owned a V. I really loved I loved that guitar when I played it, but I've never owned one.
Let's talk about the new album, Make Some Noise.
Yeah.
Definitely no acoustic tracks on this album. You'll want to play this album loud and often. And, man, let me tell you, you really shine on every track. I'm going to give the album five stars. It's a great,
Ray.
Fun album. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. We enjoyed making it. It's just, it's not, sometimes when you're going in the studio to make a record and you start thinking about, let's have a song like this, let's have a song like that. Right. This record, we basically went in and just wrote some kick-ass riffs, and we wanted to keep the record up. We didn't want to. We had a couple of ballad things and some things we were working on that were all really good, but the producer Marty Fredrickson thought we should just focus on a kick-ass record that would basically be the kind of record you want to play on a Friday night when you're going out, not so much deviating from keeping it up, keeping up. So that's what that record is, and we worked on it. We wrote it and recorded it all in about 5 weeks.
Really?
And it was we tracked it together, and you can hear, it makes a difference to do it old school like that, where you track it together, you record it together at the same time, instead of doing the drums and then overdubbing guitars and all that kind of thing. So yeah, we're really happy with it.
I could tell you guys were having fun, with those tracks.
Yeah, it's good. There's some really cool tracks. I think my favorite right now is "We All Fall Down." I really love that track.
Yeah. What is that track all about anyway? What is that the lyrics all about?
Actually, I think that I actually don't really exactly know what that track is about. I can tell you what a lot of the other tracks are about, but I'd have to read the lyrics and try and remember what John was talking about.
There's great guitar work on it. It's
thanks,
powerhouse
man.
Rock, pure powerhouse rock.
Yeah, thank you.
The main line is a favorite. To me, it kind of sounded like a Michael Schenker. kind of UFO feeling.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But
yeah.
that actually, we started jamming on that riff and that groove and everything, and John started singing, and John is also from Philadelphia area, and there's a lot of it kind of had this song kind of felt like a freight train, and there's a train line in Philadelphia called the Main Line, and I thought, well, that'd be cool, man, and I think the lyrics are a little bit different than that, but that was the initial thing we talked about for the song, was calling it Mainline, and then he changed the lyrics, turned it into something different.
And Make Some Noise has got to be awesome live. That's just another favorite track.
It is. It works really good. It's very simple and very easy to digest, and I never had written anything that's like that before. It was just, we were talking about in the studio something that would be really kind of like almost an anthem, and the initial idea kind of came from, I was thinking about the Give Peace a Chance song that John Lennon did in the bed with Yoko.
Yep.
And I thought about that as a starting point for it, and then we kind of got the beat and then the riff, and it just kind of came together. But it works really good live.
And you got two covers. You got Fortunate Son by CCR, which is, it's great to hear that again. And also Join Together from The Who. I don't think I've ever heard that song played by anybody else.
Yeah, it's a good song, man. I think some other people have done it. I don't remember. There's a rock band I think did it. No, we did. We tried to change it a little bit, make it our own, change the riff a little bit, but kind of beef it up just a little bit, not too much. And when the chorus comes in, it's The Who,
Yep. Are you playing a talk box in that on that song?
Yeah, I do a little bit of talk box on the record. And I always loved it. I wouldn't consider myself like a master talk box guy, but now doing it live a lot, I'm better at it, and it's really a cool sound. Well, actually, I found a way with the talk box. Usually, it's either or. You're either talk box or your guitar sound. And I found a way to blend the two that is really cool, so that it kind of, I can be playing the guitar riff and singing with the talk box at the same time, and it's really got a great sound live.
Another track, Last Time I Saw the Sun. I know you guys mentioned it, kind of an Aerosmith feeling. I heard Kiss in there.
Right on.
I heard Kiss in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, hey, we don't even know. We're working on songs that we felt good to play, and that's kind of what we just did.
Well, it's a great album. Everybody needs to buy it. It represents what rock and roll is all about. And
thank you so much, Ray. That's really, really nice, man.
It's bands like the Dead Daisies who are really keeping rock alive. And I said this to Beth Hart. She's another one that's if it wasn't for people like that, we need to keep rock alive, because it's not on the mainstream anymore. You go to FM radio, and they're not they're only playing, if you're lucky, they'll play the old standards, the old favorites over and over again. But anything new, it's like out of the question.
That's right.
Unless you go to Sirius, I don't know, is it Sirius or XM now? Sirius, right? Sirius
Sirius XM.
Yeah. So,
but we're very happy with this. We've been getting some great support from people like yourself, and trying to get it out to the fans just one at a time, and playing the shows, having fun, and we've been really happy with the lineup, the way it is, and want to keep it together.
Now, the Dead Daisies, is that the intention, to keep a revolving lineup as you go forward, or are they going to eventually?
Well, I think that was originally. I think those guys originally, when they started the band, John Stevens and David Lowy put the band together, and they wrote some songs and put a band together around it. And they did have some people come and go a little bit, but I think David Lowy he wants to keep this lineup together because it's good, man. We're all friends. It was great before too, and nothing against, not to take away anything, but this is the first time that the same band that recorded every note is playing every note live.
Right.
And so it's kind of come together now, and I think, you never know. Sometimes if something happens, somebody was sick, it's nice to have people you can call to come in and fill in. But I think the fans really appreciate when bands stick together.
Yeah. Well, the longer you play together, the more creative you guys can be with each other, because your personalities and things like that. Kind of like
right.
You and David Coverdale were in the beginning, right? You guys kind of meshed well.
Well, we always did, and we still do. I mean, we're not really in touch so much anymore because we're doing different things. But David and I still love him and all that. I just had my time. I felt like it was time to move on. Basically. I love the band. I love David.
You were a great guitarist for Whitesnake.
Thanks very much. I was really proud of the work that we did. Me and David had a blast doing it, and there's nothing like, he's one of the legends, and the opportunity to work with him, and even obviously with Ronnie James Dio too. I've been super blessed.
Right.
And now to work with John Corabi, who was I met John in Philadelphia in 79, when I was in school here and in Philly, and I met John, and I was so happy that he got that gig in Mötley Crüe when they got rid of Vince. I was really happy for John, and he did a great job with them. And we've always been friends, but we never had done anything together. So this is a really great thing, and he adds to a list of people I feel very fortunate to work with.
What was it like working with producer Marty Fredrickson? He's got a great resume.
Yeah, he's awesome. He was really good because it was we had a lot of music flying around between us, the five of us, and then Marty would come in and kind of he would say, okay, let's focus on this and this and this, and he'd kind of help us focus because we had a lot of stuff. We probably had we had to stop ourselves. We had about 25 songs written, and then Marty said, obviously not all of them are going to go together, or not all of them turn out to be ones you want to work on. But he said, let's focus on these 15 or 16, something like that, and then we narrowed it down to 12.
But Marty was actually the lead vocalist for Stillwater in Almost Famous, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
He's got a great voice, yeah.
Yep.
I watched him on YouTube with Steven Tyler doing some stuff together.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
You've been asked this before, and I already know the answer. I guess the spark that got you to be playing guitar and everything, it was, let's see, your sisters had a cool record collection. You saw Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow, and that did it for you. Is that true?
Yeah. Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow really kind of seals the deal when you listen to it. It's like, it's very, if you're into music, it's pretty catchy.
Now, I noticed Jeff Beck he doesn't play with a pick anymore, does he?
No,
yeah.
He's all fingers.
Yeah. Now, did you ever try that method with?
Oh yeah, I do.
Do you?
I do sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if you drop your pick, you can't stop playing. You know what I mean?
True. I saw.
But yeah, it's got a certain sound to it that's really nice.
Yeah,
without a pick.
It does. It's amazing the difference in sound when you don't use a pick. You graduated, and then when you graduated high school, you moved to L.A. Do you think if you hadn't moved to L.A., things might have not transpired for you? as far as getting that big break? Because
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just loved, I loved playing guitar, and I was bound to do it someplace. But I really do got to say, when I got to California, I fell in love with the area. Mm-hmm. I fell in love with the climate, and it was cool for me to not to be away from my family or anything, but just to start fresh in a new place.
I'm going to go back real quick to Whitesnake. The tracks you went to play, what you played with David Coverdale, the Deep Purple tracks, Burn and Stormbringer. I watched you on YouTube, man. You did a great job with Burn.
Thanks, bud.
It doesn't sound like it's an easy song to play, really. But
it's not too hard, but it's a great song. It's not like it's a super difficult song to play, but it's a great song, and it's fun to play.
I remember seeing that for the first time. I remember buying the album, and I actually saw David Coverdale play with Deep Purple. Him and Glenn Hughes were together.
That's awesome.
Then there was another one with Tommy Bolin, who replaced Ritchie Blackmore after Blackmore left. And I saw that band. Yeah, and I remember seeing the California Jam, and they played Burn during the California Jam. So it brings back a lot of memories hearing that song.
Well, I love that band. They were awesome.
Ritchie Blackmore's I don't know. There was some talk about him getting back together with his old band, right? At one time.
Yeah, man. He's always talked about it. He came back in the '80s, I guess.
Right.
And he, it's always a hope of the fans that he's going to come back.
Yeah, he's been into the medieval type stuff now with Candace, the Blackmore's Night. I actually talked to Candace, his wife, and here's something a little funny about Ritchie. He likes to vacuum.
Oh, that's funny.
He likes to vacuum. Yep. So I guess Candace has him trained at home. I got to ask you about something that kind of made you angry. Dee Snider made an attack on Twitter about you. Did that get resolved? Did you ever talk to Dee? I know you didn't know Dee when that happened.
No, I knew Dee. I've met him. He didn't really know my background or whatever. But I didn't have any problem with it. I love Dee's work, and he's awesome. He's an awesome part of the music community, and I have respect for him. It was just, I think he didn't really know my background with Whitesnake and how much I had really tried to help David with the band, and I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry, really. Right. It was just kind of like, it was one of those things where he kind of called me out and I just called him back,
Yeah.
But
exactly.
in the end, I'm sure we're fine. I mean, I saw him in Nashville when we were recording the record, and he said hi real quick, and that was it. It's, these things get blown out of proportion, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also not afraid if somebody says, hey, whatever whatever you're doing is wrong. If I feel like what I'm doing is right, I'm going to say, hey, I believe in this. I believe in what I'm doing. And it's, we are all working for the same cause, which is keeping music happening.
Keeping music alive, right.
Dee has always been a big, he's been a huge part of keeping music alive and keeping music on course, and he's been really cool for music. So I have nothing but respect, really. It was just a weird little glitch.
Right. Yeah, like kind of like how football players, razz each other on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. I don't know. Dee
Oh,
Snider.
wait, Ray, wait 1 sec. My mom wants to talk to you. Ray, hold on.
Okay, sure.
Hi, Ray. We have guests here to see Doug, and I'm sorry. I just came in to tell him. I'm
How are
sorry.
you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. You guys, how are things in Philly?
Good, real good. Listen, I'll give him back to you because my friends are leaving.
Okay, take care. Good to see you.
My mother wanted me. What she really wants me to do is she wants me to do some chores, Ray. She got me back here at home to do some chores.
Back home to do chores. How about that? Some things never change, huh?
That's it, man. I was like, "What, Mom? What's going on?" But yeah. I will have to cut out. I will have to cut out in a second here, bud.
Okay. Couple of more questions if I can get in with you.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Revolution Saints?
Well, I mean, we were. It started off as Dean's solo record, and then everybody went back to their respective jobs, and the record company decided to call it a band, but really it wasn't so much a band; it was just a project. And I thought that we would, maybe get it together. We had some really good offers, but for touring, but we just couldn't get the schedules together, Yeah. So then, now, Jack was always doing Night Ranger, and Dean was doing Journey. Now Dean's freed up a little bit. I would love to do a show with those guys just to say we did it, But you never know. Maybe we'll do something for charity one day. That would be cool.
Sure, that'd be great. I've asked this question to just about everyone I've interviewed. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform, collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Well, there's so many. It's hard to say, but I mean, if I was going to have a jam as a trio or something, I would probably say doing something with John Bonham would be for sure something I'd love to do, because everything he played on just had this feel about it. It was awesome, and he's such a powerful player, and I think his playing really helped make a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't imagine his a song like When the Levee Breaks without his playing. So I would love to play with him, and by the same token, somebody like John Entwistle, so powerful in The Who, or Phil Lynott. I would be happy. That would actually be pretty amazing. Is this if I could get in a band with Bonham on drums, Phil Lynott on bass and vocals, and then John Lord on keys. That would be it.
Yep, good band. So what's next for Doug Aldrich? You got the Dead Daisies. You'll be with them for a while. Hopefully, the rest of your career. You never know. But I mean, is there anything? Maybe the Doug Aldrich band, or simply Aldrich?
I have a band. I'm not doing any solo stuff or anything like that. I do have. I love playing instrumental rock music sometimes, but more importantly, I have a band that I've been a part of for since 1998. It's called Burning Rain, and it's with a great singer called Keith St. John.
Oh yeah, I know Keith. Yep.
Yeah, and we've done 3 records together, and we've got material for a 4th record. We just have to find time to record it. But that's one of the cool things about today, and that's one of the really cool things about the music industry today, is that you're able to do some other gigs at the same time. You don't have to be just specifically in one band only. Right. It's nice, it's like, for example, Joe Bonamassa has his solo thing, and then he's also got Black Country, and then he's got different styles that he plays. So for me to do the Dead Daisies is a great opportunity. It's a really fun band to be a part of, and but the Burning Rain band is something that I put together with Keith, and it's a different sound. It's kind of a little closer maybe to Whitesnake-ish sounding. So I think we'll be doing that. I'll have something ready for next year.
Well, Keith has a great voice. I was fortunate enough to be with him and Ronnie Montrose during his last tour. And great gig. They meshed really, really well together. And it'd be great to see you and Keith together again. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man.
Anything else you'd like to promote or add?
Well, I would just like to say thanks to you for everything what you're doing for supporting the Dead Daisies, and we really appreciate it. And hopefully get you out to a show one of these days.
Yeah, come to Florida.
Yeah, we're coming.
Yeah.
We're coming at some point. And also thanks to your listeners for keeping rock alive. Awesome. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here.
Doug, thank you so much, man, for being on the show today. Good luck with the new album, the rest of the tour, and definitely have fun at the Kiss Cruise 6 show.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it.
Okay, man. Take care, Doug. Thank you so much.
All right, Ray. Thank you, bud. Thank you. Take it easy.
Bye-bye. You can purchase the new release by the Dead Daisies entitled Make Some Noise at Amazon.com. Visit the Dead Daisies official website for the latest news and concert dates at www.thedeaddaisies.com. Visit the Dead Daisies on Facebook at www.facebook.com/thedeaddaisies. Also visit them on Twitter at twitter.com/thedeaddaisies. Also visit Doug Aldrich's official website, which is www.dougaldrich.com. Coming up next on the Ray Shasho Show, Laura and Nikki London of London Rain, one of the finest rock bands to hit the music scene since the 90s. Very special thanks today to Chipster PR for arranging this interview, and to Doug and Don Newsom with BBS Radio for making it all happen every show. Join me bi-weekly, Mondays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Ray Shasho Show. If you have comments or suggestions or would like to be a guest on the Ray Shasho Show, call 941-877-1552 or email us at ray@publicityworksagency.com. And don't forget to purchase a copy of my book entitled Check the G's, The True Story of an Eclectic American Family and Their Wacky Family Business, or the second edition entitled Wacky Shenanigans on F Street, Proud to be Politically Incorrect in Washington, D.C., available now at Amazon.com. You'll live it. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Ray Shasho Show, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Call 941-877-1552 or visit us at publicityworksagency.com, specializing in author and music artist publicity plans. We shine when we make you shine. Join Ray Shasho every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on BBS Radio, Station 1.